Well, we're back on open water. It's such a beautiful morning. We've had so much wind and crazy weather here lately. We finally got a nice day.
Yeah, it's the first calm day I've seen in a long time.
And we're back on Green Bay, which you look at Green Bay, you know how many walleyes are in Green Bay, and every spring, you know, all these fish push up into these major river systems that dump into Green Bay, whether it's the Fox or the Peshtigo. We're out of Oconto today. Just one of my favorite places to come each spring. Just so many different fishing opportunities.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jason, you never know where we're going to end up today. We're going to start out fishing the shorelines up by Oconto. It's been a little spotty. This fish been moving a lot, so we've had finally a warm up here, so I'm guessing they're going to be shallow, but we're going to start the hunt here, and who knows, we may end up on one of the river systems later in the day.
Yeah, just go with the flow. I'm game for that.
So basically what the fish are doing right now, they're coming in, getting ready to spawn, so they're targeting areas where there's warm water. They usually spawn here once you hit around that 40 to 42 degree mark. So we're just getting into spawning mode right now. We actually got 41 degrees where we're fishing right now. So these fish should be coming up real shallow today with the sun out. The shallow water is going to warm up fast. Right now these fish are very negative and not eating at all, so we're waiting for something to happen here. Got him?
Yep. Got him.
Nice one.
These fish just fight hard. Oh yeah, look at that.
Nice big walleye.
Nice. Oh yeah, look at that. Whoa! Come on up here. There we go. Nice. Thank you, sir. Go ahead and leave her right in the water there. I'll unhook her. And... Nice. Boy, these are just golden. I just love the color on these fish too. There, look at that. Golly. Gotta love Green Bay. And then to catch fish on soft plastics, we are casting. That's as fun as walleye fishing gets. That's just a gorgeous fish. We'll get that fish in the water, but look at that. There she goes. Just as feisty as when she left as when she came in. Good stuff. 4 feet of water. Gotta love that, huh?
You know, one thing, Jason, yesterday we were out and there was a lot of clear, cold water areas, and today what we're doing is right away we're looking for that dirty water, because the dirty water is going to be warmer and it's definitely going to hold more fish. So that's the key today, is find that dirty water that's holding the warm pockets of water.
And that moves and changes a lot, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah, every day, you know, you're chasing dirty water every day. It can be, you know, in one area and a mile away the next.
That's kind of the mystique of Green Bay, is that you can have a phenomenal day on a spot, and the next day, water temp's 3 degrees, 4 degrees colder, clear, or whatever it is, and the bite's dead, and you got to spend part of the day trying to find them again.
There he is. Just switched over to that hair jig.
All right. I'm just going to spot lock us here and keep us in one spot. I'll get the net here. Kind of in that same zone where we caught that other one. Look, a good fish, huh? Staying down. Oh yeah, it's a real nice fish.
Real nice fish.
Green Bay gold.
Here she comes out in the stinger hook too.
There we go. All right, nice work. Nice work. So I'm throwing plastic, you're throwing hair. We're kind of mixing it up a little bit. see what these fish want.
I'll tell you what, Jason, look over that fish is hooked.
Oh yeah.
In the spring
With
like
the
this, they're
stinger.
real lethargic, so I always will put a stinger hook on the back of those hair jigs like that. And probably about 75% of the time they'll be on that stinger.
That's
just
a great
trailing,
tip.
nipping. It's a little female, but nice fish. Get her back in the water. Well, the walleyes in Green Bay is a pretty phenomenal fishery. We've had some really, really good hatches the last like 4 to 5 years in a row, so we're really strong on like those 17 to 24-inch fish, and we also have a lot of big fish. One thing with the fish in Green Bay, they're constantly on the move, especially in the spring. In the spring, their main thing is they're looking for warm water. So when that warm water moves, which it does every day, when the wind changes directions, the walleyes are going to follow it and chase down that warm water every day.
You know, so we're just basically out on these big flats here. There's not a lot of structures. It's pretty gradual, pretty subtle.
Yeah, it's just mud flats basically.
So it's kind of a deal where these fish can be in a lot of places, and so you guys rely on side imaging a lot,
Yeah,
don't you? I mean, that's the key.
Side imaging is my best friend out here, so a lot of times I won't even fish unless I see them. Because there's no sense in wasting your time.
That's kind of what we're doing here. We're just driving around. Sometimes we drive around a lot before we fish, but we're just driving around and looking for fish on the side imaging. You know, we're anywhere from 4 to 7 feet of water, sometimes deeper.
Yeah, and this is a perfect scenario for using side imaging. Got a flat bottom and shallower water, like 4 to 10 foot is my favorite.
That's
for
mine
side
too.
imaging.
Yep, flat, and I've often felt if you have flat rolling sand, those fish just pop right off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so obvious when you go over fish. Well, there we go, right there. That's what we're looking for. See those specks right there? That's a pot of fish. We'll get up past them here. We'll put a waypoint on them.
There's one. Might need the net on this one.
All right, I'm coming. There we go. Nice work. Another golden walleye. I tell you what, there's boats out here, you know, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool fishing opportunity. You can technically keep one fish over 15 inches, but you look at all these people out here. I mean, the deal is you come out here and catch a lot of fish, opportunities for big fish, good times.
Yeah, you know, right now, Jason, like I said, you're allowed 1 fish right now, but the first Saturday in May, it changes to 5 fish. So right now it's kind of trophy fishing. A lot of people come to catch big fish, and then a lot of people come for these eaters like this, and starting in May, on the first Saturday in May.
Kind of the best of both worlds. You got the opportunity to catch a lot of fish, but you never know when you're going to catch that big fish. Every time you set the hook could be a fish over 10 pounds. You know, this is typical spring grind fishing. What I mean by that is that, you know, you spend a big part of the day trying to figure it out, and then once you start to figure it out, put the pieces of the puzzle together, you know, things just start to happen. And sometimes, you know, it takes a little while. And that is so common in the spring. You know, these water temperatures are still so cold. You know, these fish, they want to warm up, but, you know, we've got these fronts and different things that are happening. They just keep pushing things back. Sometimes it just takes a little while for these fish to get going. You know, sometimes that sun comes out or just the day warms up, where that water temperature will just bump up a degree, 2, 3 degrees during the day. And maybe at 9, 10, 11 o'clock, you know, you're just pulling your hair out, just catching a fish here and a fish there. By 2, 3, 4 o'clock, you know, you start to get into that groove where things just start to happen. I think a lot of it's just water temperature warms up during the day, and these fish just get easier to catch.
No one's staying down.
Yeah. Just a feisty one. Oh yeah. Thank you, sir. Look at this, the first fish that wasn't caught on the stinger today. Golden walleyes. You just see here on these big flats, there's boats up and down this line. And basically these fish are all just pushing up in here to spawn. They'll be spawning soon. Some of them probably already started. Water temps are getting into the low 40s. So.
One thing cool about Green Bay is you can stay on the spring walleye bite for a long period of time, just for the matter of fact that when the season starts, usually everybody's down on the Fox River, down on the lower part of Green Bay. So that started about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And now the ice finally is out up on the mid section and the upper bay. So now we're making a transition up to like Ocano and Peshtigo area. And then you got Marinette north of here. So you can kind of follow and chase these fish for a long period of time in the spring.
Fish right below the boat. That fish hit it fairly close to the boat. Come on up. Oh yeah, nice walleye. All right, thank you, sir.
No problem.
There. Look at that fatty. These fish just have an impressive girth. I'll let her go. Go do your deal here. We'll get this jig out of the net here. You can tie the stinger hook onto that back hook. You can buy them. Northland, quite a few different companies make it where you just slide them right on your hook there and that just hangs back. But this here's that deep V hair jig. And in my mind, the whole key with hair jigs is that a lot of them are just tied with too much hair. You want them tied thin. See how thin that hair is? If they come with too much hair, just pull some of it out. But it seems like the more thinner it is, the more it dances in the water. Very subtle, but it just comes alive. And in cold water, hair jigs are deadly. That fish came fairly close to the boat, but the whole key, as you see, is everybody's out here casting. This clear water, I think a lot of times it'd be really difficult to catch fish below the boat. So we're just drifting and covering water, making long casts. And every fish, with the exception of that last fish, was being caught on the very end of the cast.
There he is.
All right, good one.
Decent.
I'll get reeled up and out of your way here. Staying down nice. They all fight hard though, don't they? Must be the clear water or something. These fish just seem like they have more horsepower than a normal walleye. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my. Yeah, that is a big girl. Oh, yeah. Oh my, that's the Green Bay fish everybody talks about, huh? Look at that egg wagon. Look at that. Awesome job, bud. That's a great fish. Great fish. Wow. That is beautiful.
That one ate the jig pretty good too.
Oh, look at that. Choked it. That is a fat fish.
Nice fish. Catch a lot of them like this out on Green Bay.
Beautiful.
It's actually been a pretty tough bite today. We're having to work for them. We had a slower presentations down, switched over to hair. I don't know, it's just a tough bite today, but we're getting them.
Adding up. A fish like that gets spirits up. Right back over here now.
There he is.
Got him?
Yep.
All right. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Here, let me get reeled up here. Nice fish. Yeah, bring him on up here. Oh yeah, nice one, nice one.
Starting to heat up a little bit.
Hey, we'll take it.
3 quick ones.
We'll take it.
Look at that one's
Long
got
and
blue.
strong.
That one's got blue fins on the back here.
Yeah, they are
Pretty
pretty.
cool. All right, we'll get this one back and get another one.
You know, so today, you know, the hair jigs stole the show. We caught most of the fish on hair jigs. What's cool about hair jigs, or I think what's interesting, is that the more fish you catch on them, the more beat up they get. It's like they just work better and better the more beat up they get. And I think what happens is that a lot of hair jigs just have too much hair on them, and so you want these hair jigs to fish thin. And so that was one of the things working with Northland, is that we wanted to make sure that that hair jig is thin enough, that dressing's thin enough where you get that action. And so hair jigs are huge out here. The other thing is obviously, you know, just your classic jig and plastic, either a fluke style tail or this just an impulse paddle tail, deep V jig. You know, your plastics are going to catch a lot of fish. The other thing that's really popular out here is these rattle baits. And so here's a couple of Northland fishing tackle rattle and shads. And here's a Rapala rip and wrap. But, you know, again, fishing it very similar to a jig. You know, a lot of times if you have aggressive fish, you might catch them on the rattle baits. Sometimes if the fish are off a little bit, you might have to go to the hair jig. But those 3 presentations, jigs and plastics, hair jigs, rattle baits, that kind of covers a mantra for this early season fishing on Green Bay for walleyes. Well, we kind of got up to the end of our run here, so we're just going to go right back up here and make another pass through here. Try to get up on the same line here and see what happens.
There he is.
You got one? Okay, here, I'll get out of your way here. I'll get reeled in here. All right.
Oh.
Yeah. Beautiful golden walleye. There we go. All right. Atta boy.
They're firing now.
Yeah. Now we know why you're the guide on Green Bay.
Get that one back and get another one.
You know, one of the things that strikes me about fishing Green Bay is that these fish are here today, gone tomorrow, in the sense that things can change so quickly. You know, you could have a tremendous day, go out to the same spot the next day, and the fish are just gone. You know, there's these currents and wind directions, and just things are changing all the time where these fish are moving. And so, you know, in my mind, catching fish isn't hard. The hard part is finding them. And tell you what, don't be afraid, or maybe just be prepared to spend a big part of the day each day just looking for fish, in the sense that, you know, say the wind's blowing out of the west, the next day it's blowing out of the south, things are going to change, things are going to be different. It's going to take a big part of the day just to get back on those fish again. But once you get back on them, you can catch fish in a hurry. You know, catching them isn't hard, finding them is the hard part. And so the attitude to have on Green Bay is just be prepared to spend a big part of the day finding them. It's kind of like waterfowl hunting, right? If you're going to shoot a lot of ducks, you got to spend a lot of time scouting. Green Bay is the same way.
Got him.
Oh yeah, there you go. All right. Atta boy. Feel like a good fish?
It's hard to tell. He feels pretty decent. Yeah, it's a decent one. Not a giant, but nice fish.
Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that.
On the stinger hook again.
Yeah. Oh, and I almost dumped it. There we go. Nice.
That's a male looking for a female.
You know, we haven't seen any fish milking yet, have we?
No, they're not.
It's almost like this is the first warm temps of the spring, and it's going to happen soon. But
they'll be milking in the next 2 days, I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, a lot's going to change in the next week. But yeah, these females, I mean, it's like they're still hard. The males aren't milking yet, so even though it's low 40s, it's like the first low 40s we've seen, and so
Correct.
It's right at the tip of it. And then we're supposed to have another front coming in tomorrow. So we'll talk about a bunch of screwy weather this spring too.
A lot of rain, I heard, tomorrow.
Yep. You know, so here's something that's interesting that I heard one time from a biologist is that when we get these cold springs where things are where things are really staggered,
Nice.
it's a lot of times good for reproduction because not all the fish spawn at the same time. So then the fry don't hatch at the same time. I thought that was interesting.
That is.
This might be a good one here. Haven't caught up with her yet.
Staying down. That's a good sign.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, nice fish. Nice fish. Whoa. She's livening up now. It's like they just walk with you for a while, then they realize that you're trouble, and then they put on the jets when they get close to the boat. Oh, come on up here. Gotta try to play her here just in case I'm hooked up on one of those little stinger hooks in the back.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with those stingers.
Yeah.
It's a small hook.
Yeah. Boy, this is a nice fish.
Oh yeah, nice one.
Oh yeah. There we go. That's a fatty too. Get my hands on this girl. Look at that. These fish are so golden. Even their bellies are yellow. Isn't that just a gorgeous walleye? Look at that. You know how fat that fish is. Oh, is that good stuff. Good stuff. And to catch fish on a jig like this, casting, love it. Look at that. Oh, so angry. I'm sorry. Gotta love that. Really cool area. One of my favorite areas to come visit where there's a big smallmouth. We've gone up here and fished some of these rivers in the past. A couple years ago, we filmed a show on the Pesh to go with Eric Hadia, and you know, we've done stuff with Bret in the past with smallmouths up here over in Sturgeon Bay, but you know, this is a special part of the world. A lot of water and a lot of big fish. I mean, it's just incredible. And so neat. And what's cool about this, we're out here at an 18.5-foot boat. If you pick your days, use common sense, you don't necessarily need a big boat. You get out here, you see all kinds of different boats, everything from 12 feet all the way up to 22 feet. Everybody's out here having fun catching these walleyes.